working? Okay, hi. Okay, this is our graphic design for student portfolio poster design submissions for 2021. This is the last creative class they'll be taking. The next one will be portfolio with Ms. Fisher, so we're gonna give everybody a chance. Ms. Daniela will be right back. To critique each of the posters on video so you can actually get some feedback from more than just your instructor. So let's begin. I'm not going to mention any names, so it will be completely unbiased.
You want to stand a little forward on it so we can see the...
Oh, on the actual poster
Yep,
itself?
on the actual
Well, I want
poster.
you in it.
Yeah, no, it's fine, I'll be there.
You can see their fingers. Or see our
So
fingers.
I'm gonna go through first with mine. I do like the balance and the contrast of this. I think that having these letters highlighted disrupts the reading pattern. So you're kind of seeing A, G, D, P, and then you have to think about it harder to read the whole line. So this alternating contrast, it just breaks up. You don't read it as a whole word. You're reading it as the individual pieces, and that just gets busy and distracting. I'm paying too much attention to like, what is this actually saying, and not actually getting the message of what this is. It looks like this is kind of like a tree shape, and maybe these are coming off of it. I wish that was developed a little more
This
clearly.
is actually in the process of being redeveloped, because I
Perfect.
mentioned, yeah. So hopefully we'll have that submission to update this, but
And
good.
this is a personal thing with me. I feel like if white works on this background, then black doesn't. Alternating between black and white, they're so high contrast. There's very few colors that work as a background. So either use a different color that's a similar value, but alternating the black and white is probably not the strongest choice. Otherwise, this is really fun using the same letters to create this. Maybe this could be smaller and tucked down a little bit so it looks like it's a little more included. I think the information here is very good.
Off-centered, but
Oh, it is
Oh, it is.
This whole-
I'm standing on this side of it, so it
yeah,
looks,
yeah. Yeah,
um,
she's gonna make some changes, hopefully, and make some of those adjustments. That'd be great.
perfect. I
Wonderful.
like some of these elements, like this kind of looks like glossy buttons, which may not be the most trendy right now, but certainly has been in the past and relates to some design elements. That's kind of my feedback on that. You guys, what are your chime in?
Yeah, get over there. I want you on the video.
I'll go next. The first thing, I know Jen covered a whole lot. The first thing I see is this font and how kind of basic it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like there could be some more things going on, maybe adding icons or something. It's just like Helvetica on a page.
Yep.
So, and the other thing is we were talking about how this could be more developed. If and I know this might be changing, but if there was like these strokes were bigger, if this was connected to this and repeating maybe a bold black stroke around there instead of this subtleness with this boldness, if we're keeping that.
It's a Christmas bulb tree.
It's a Christmas bulb tree.
Oh,
You
okay.
grow Christmas bulbs on.
Yeah, so that's what I
Thank
got
you
on
very
that.
much.
Okay, so I'll just add to what they're saying because everything that they're saying, I agree with.
Totally.
I think that what Ms. Fisher's talking about is very fragmented because there's nothing that has continuity except this part right here where it kind of stays together. Everything else is trying to lead a life of its own,
Yep,
and so
yep.
things are scattered all over the place. The other thing about this, what Danielle's saying is, we got this tree here, but even if we were to go with the circles, which I don't really prefer in this case, you need some three-dimensionality. You need these circles, some to come forward, some to go back, back and forth. They're really flat, right? Because they're all the same shade, all the same color. And then again, like Ms. Danielle said, this is very generic typography, right? So you want to be more creative with that when it comes to typography. Typography to me and to all of us is probably one of the most important things of design. So not only does it create this creative style and this nice look, but it's the information that we're trying to get to the people. There's no sense in designing something if somebody has no clue as to what it's for, right? And then we see this really flat black here. It's really it's getting kind of dull. We are off-centered. I'm just a stickler for stuff like that. Doesn't mean that everything has to be centered, right? It just means that when something should intentionally be centered, it should be centered, right? Make sure it's not falling off the edge of the page or something like that.
Okay, I have one other
but then-
thing.
I want to do it
But-
too.
Okay, but then the black,
I'll hold the camera.
the black is not contrasting enough. It's kind of dead, in that case. But there's some really, some good elements of this. This is a really good beginning stage to get it to something that would be really unique and everything. But that's my opinion.
So as someone who has worked in multiple versions of the software, this suddenly jumped out at me. Why does it say CS, but it says Adobe Creative Cloud? I worked in the CS Creative Suite versions of Adobe, and after CS6, it became Adobe Creative Cloud, so it's Adobe CC. If we're saying Adobe Creative Cloud, then what is the CS for, and why is one red and one's not?
Creative Suite.
So, you're all wrong. This is for, no, I'm just kidding. What I'm getting from this is exactly what everybody else has said on this critique. And those have been noted in, haven't graded it yet, but noted via Collaborate. But what I get from this is kind of a modern, and this could be so much more. This could be a beautiful illustration of a tree trunk growing, because they're growing as students, right? So they've grown and they've become this beautiful tree full of knowledge, so I totally would have gone. And I did mention, go to Free Pick if you can't illustrate, go ahead and grab a beautiful tree, wrap it around some things, but it's definitely too busy up here, too much going on, like I said, like everybody else said, but I do see the potential of this to be really, it could have been a beautiful illustration example, Sweet, thank you.
Do you want to go first on the
Let's
next
go ahead
one?
and stop it and we'll do each one separately.
There you go.
That way, we won't have a 50-hour video. All right.